Welcome to Barcelona, home to the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup.
Round robin one's been absolutely awesome.
And they will get the job done and a W. Again, they make a statement.
Looking forward to the next round robin and really trying to maximise the time.
Luno Rossa, Prada Pirelli remain unbeaten.
We are super happy to have the full points on the leaderboard.
They go to 4-0.
It's the magic of Luna Rossa. I cannot tell you the secret, my friend.
It's a living game of chess on the water here today, and it is providing us with some spectacular AC75 racing.
It's kind of anyone's game at the moment still. The boats don't seem to matter that much, and it's who makes the right calls and less mistakes.
Lead change at the bottom mark. Advantage, Ineos Britannia.
You've seen all 6 teams are incredibly close.
4 lead changes, a penalty. It will be the challenger of record. Ineos Britannia, that's 3 wins now.
The racing's getting closer, we're getting overtake.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing, they are 0-3 on the board.
For me, all the races are important. We're just gonna go out there and try to win as many races as we can.
This one's going down to the wire. Way too early to call.
We are really focused on being in the semi-final. We beat the Swiss on the first match in this round robin, and we are able to beat them in the next one.
Hola, this is Barcelona, Spain in September, the final month of a 2024 summer, with temperatures continuing in the mid to high 20s. It's also the final week of the Louis Vuitton Round Robin Series, which will be filled with nervous tension by the teams at the bottom end of the table. The race for survival continues, and it's all about avoiding the first brutal cut. Someone's going home at the end of the week. Their America's Cup dream will be over. 2 days ago, the competition stepped up a gear as boat developments appeared to kick in. Luno Rossa continued to batter teams, while the minimalist American Magic put a shot across the bow of the Defender and the rest of the Challenger fleet, indicating they've got the speed, and this Louis Vuitton Cup's going down to the wire. Ineos Britannia did make waves, but stayed in stealth mode and kept racking up the wins, quietly applying the pressure on the Italians. The prize in each team's sights is the Louis Vuitton Cup. If you're the team holding this trophy at the end of the Challenger Selection Series, you're the official challenger to meet New Zealand in the match. When we look at the whole fleet points table, the Defender, the current challenger of record Britannia, and Luno Rossa all share a 4-win, 1-loss record. Take New Zealand out, and the Italians' record becomes 4-0, perfect in the table that matters. Still followed by Ineos Britannia, American Magic, the French, and the Swiss, who remain confident but not on the board. But that could change today, because first up, the Swiss beat the French in the match of the day. A win to the Swiss will be vital and would be a game changer. There's another rematch in race 2 between the Italians and New Zealand. The USA meet the original old foe, and there's France and Italy going for it. And so the teams head out, and there's a lot of pressure on Alinghi Red Bull Racing. It's America's Cup pressure, but that pressure is also on Orient Express Racing. They're back in the game. They have the 1 win, but is it enough? Emirates Team New Zealand are in a jovial mood. They know their Defender. This is their last week of competitive racing before the match. As USA, American Magic's not out of it. They've only got 2 wins on the board. They need a few more. Luno Rossa, Prada Pirelli, you can understand why they're happy. They are just 4-0 and just running the gamut. And Ineos Britannia, the boss is in the house, Jim Ratcliffe. He'll want to see something happen today. And the race village is once again busy. You can get various spots to relax in under the big screen options and just sitting back and enjoying the weather. But what is the weather like? Here's Shirley Robertson.
Today is shaping up to be one of the toughest yet. It's a volatile, unpredictable weather day. Breeze anything from northwest to southeast, 8 to 16 knots. And with rain and thunder hovering over the mountains to the north, also threatening to add to today's drama. Well, finding and locking into areas of good breeze is going to be paramount. And for us, though, with the help of Windsight IQ, we will be able to see the breeze in a real-time wind map. Green more breeze, blue less, and pass that data through our own AC75 sim, and our ghost boat could show us an accurate heads up of what could be the winning course.
Race number 16, Alinghi Red Bull Racing, Orient Express Racing Team.
pointless in round one. Skipper Arno Sarafagis may argue that every match is crucial. The reality, though, is that this is the big one. Alinghi Red Bull Racing are fighting for cup survival. Arno's team is young, inexperienced on the big stage. He needs to calm the nerves. Offside driver is Bachelan, Trimmers, Metro and Rula, and giving it all they've got. Maifir and Schistalberg, Noti and Tunich.
The French team of Orient Express Racing are relatively new to the waters here in Barcelona, but are keen to turn some heads and potentially take down some big teams in the race for the America's Cup. The driving team of Quentin Delapierre on the starboard side of the yacht and Kevin Pepinet on the port side are joined by foil trimmers Mathieu Van Dam and Jason Saunders. Providing the power for the sails is the cycling team of Thibaut Verhoeven, Remy Verhoeven, Antoine Norgade, Tim Lepau, Alain Leblair.
So we are getting ready to go. The start of round robin number 2, and look below, the French have got their face masks on, looking at that, ready to play a video game. But hey, this is a monster matchup to open up the day. Let's get clearance that we are good to go racing from race management first of all.
This is the race committee. The wind sampling period is complete, and this race will start on schedule.
And with the wind doing what it's doing right now, this is going to be smashing, to say the least. With the amount of wind out there, the Swiss will come off port at 2 minutes and 10, the French on starboard at 2 minutes.
It's great breeze, just look at it, but so unstable and full of holes. It's really going to add to the drama.
Really, really shifty here, so really important time on distance for the entry. Definite eyes out of the boat sort of the day today.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing coming in. The countdown comes on. You'll see a little green light on the bar. They're about to cross their good in, and they are good to come in. Now it will be Orient Express Racing. They got the win first time round on day 1 of the Louis Vuitton Cup, and they do it again.
The aim of the game here to take an advantage over your opponent and get off the start line with an advantage. So both boats doing the dance to try and gain the upper hand.
Ok, là-bas.
Start up, James.
Very light,
Breeze has got light, like slow patch for Orient Express.
Happy to say hello, it's massive right just a picture.
At the moment, big left.
25 to boundary.
Huge shifts out there. Both teams having to keep the boat sailing fast and on the foils.
In these conditions, really hard to follow a game plan because it's changing so much.
Big gear changes here on both boats. Cyclors having to work hard here.
Par le haut toujours. Tu peux abattre, lancer pour le...
Allez, deux, focus, un tout petit peu. Feeling 15, big power guys. Il est posé. 14.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing there. A little off the foils and a little slow there, so they want to try and re-accelerate the boat here. French on their foils, time on distance, probably a dip start by the French. Alinghi Red Bull Racing accelerating, so they should pop up on their foils here.
Inside the last 10 seconds to the start of round robin number 2. This is race 16. And it is a go. Alinghi Red Bull Racing, Orient Express Racing, a monster matchup to start the week.
A little advantage there to Alinghi Red Bull Racing, but the French doing all they can to hang off the hip here.
That's an FT. Okay, même vitesse, même
A little unorthodox start by the French. They're not terribly well executed, but they've survived well. They're very much back in the game.
Je l'ai pas à l'écran, moi, j'ai pas...
Breeze currently has gone to the left, and we see Alinghi just pulling advantage. They've pulled forward on Orient Express.
Oh, they've lost the rudder, the French. They've lost the rudder. Big spill there. Need to get that back under control quickly. A big gain there to Alinghi. Red Bull Racing. Need to get locked in here, the French.
Let's go on to chase zero. Peter Lester, what would you call that, an unorthodox start?
Yeah, I think some of that's brought about by it's really shifty, and the breeze, the pressure's up and down. Off the line, Alinghi Red Bull Racing, they did a pretty good job of jumping back up on the foils at the crucial time, and they've jumped out to a pretty handsome lead and protecting that left-hand side. The wind just seems to be oscillating, but favouring coming off the shore, so the left tack or coming up on port will be the making board to the top mark.
Thanks, Pete. Peter Lester, America's Cup tactician, double Olympic gold medalist Shirley Robertson, three-time America's Cup winner Glenn Ashby and Stephen Lukaiva in the house for another day of racing off the coast of Barcelona. It is a ripping one.
We lost the boat, keep going. I think we're happy to go one and in right turn if we make it by max.
Yeah, I agree.
With the pressure, we should be able to make it.
Oh, the French there, off the foils. Look like there's an issue on board Orient Express Racing.
In max flap. Accélère doucement.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shifting the course axis to 350.
They're not sure what the issue is there on board the French, but they're trying to get the boat up and going again. Alinghi Red Bull Racing sailing beautifully up to the top of the course here. A huge lead with Orient Express Racing off the foils.
At the start on the opening day of round robin number 2, when Alinghi Red Bull Racing need a win, they've just been handed somewhat of a gift at this point. They will round at the top gate for the first time, well ahead of Orient Express Racing. That's what you call America's Cup pressure coming to play.
This is such a big race for this team. They wouldn't admit it, but really is it's a must win. To have this kind of lead, so good for them.
It's a really big deficit there for Orient Express Racing to try and rebuild. Just having a look here at the French of what happened to them in that manoeuvre. Oh, lost the rudder there. Head to wind check. Unfortunately, just getting too high there on the foils. And losing the rudder there.
That's twice on the first Not too much being said on the chase boat of Orient Express Racing. I can imagine internally there's a lot of grinding of the gears inside the heads as Orient Express Racing, whose deficit is growing against Alinghi Red Bull Racing, head to that top gate for the first time. Twice losing the rudder on the upwind leg. How costly is that going to be? They will take the right-hand mark, as you said, and head down on leg number 2, race 16, the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series.
These puffy, shifty conditions, surely really, really tricky to sail the boat well, and those tiny little skinny rudders, you get them high and super easy to spin out.
Even in the pre-start, it didn't look like they were quite in control of what was going on. Do you think that was mechanical or just the conditions?
Certainly difficult conditions.
Quite light here, a bit too extra.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shifting the course axis to 340 and lengthening the course to 1.7 nautical miles.
So Breeze getting up and still going left.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing sailing their AC75 beautifully. Really locked in and fantastic bombs on board there.
Something big coming. Looking at the French, they having a bit more right than still one board round up. Swing is good.
Happy not to rush the attack. It's quite light just behind us.
One board round up in 5.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing about to complete leg number 2 of 6 in this all-important first match of round robin. Looks a bit messy getting the bow down, but they're up and racing again, and their lead is a huge one on Orient Express Racing. But they've got to stay calm and stay efficient.
Let's extend at least to the 1 ending point. And we're very light in front.
Get rid of a few of the bugs off the goggles there with a bit of a touchdown at the bottom mark. I'll be looking to keep it clean from here and just get the boat around the track nice and cleanly.
Turning left. Entering the zone. Okay, 2. 1 very light. Fall down. Close. Light tack.
See the veins of breeze coming down the course there. Really quite puffy and shifty, so definitely an eyes out of the boat day.
Very light here.
Max power.
Onto the Alinghi Red Bull Racing chase boat with coach Petro Sibillo. When it matters most, you've got the right starter, you've got a strong lead. Petro, there must be, at this point, a sense of relief at the moment.
They're going to take the right path.
Yeah, for sure, the guys did a very good job so far, the start and then also after. I mean, it's quite a tricky condition here, very shifty breeze, up and down. You know, they have to keep the eyes out of the boat and play in the shifts. Also was quite tough the beginning of the day, the sail choice, you know, with the storms approaching, deciding the main, which main to hoist, the jib to hoist. So far so good. For sure it's still a long race in this condition.
Stay with us, Petro. We're just seeing Orient Express Racing go around that bottom mark for the first time to complete the second leg. How important to the confidence of this team would a win be today?
For sure, it's for us it's key to bring home this race. We'll see. Still long, as I said.
Thanks, Petro.
Thanks, guys.
This is the 1 ending point here for the left back.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing were, I think, the only boat that went out training yesterday. They're practicing pre-starts. I mean, really needed that day, I think, to reset. Heads were down before then. Just listening to the comms now, really confident, positive comms coming off the boat.
Let's go on board Chase Zero with Peter Lesser. Peter, you're listening in on comms to Alinghi Red Bull Racing. What are you hearing?
They're protecting the left, and as I look up the course, I can see more left coming. There's actually quite a squall, bit of a bank of rain developing over the land, and that's going to, I think Alinghi Red Bull Racing will be round the mark, but you could actually see an increase in wind coming down the course shortly. In fact, as we power up, we're in more breeze now, so this top mark rounding could be quite interesting.
I think we'll be happy to head offshore quite quickly.
Yeah, I agree. I will like keep more right more.
Ça va bien, un petit peu à droite là. Il faut pousser pour la pression, Jess. D'accord, il n'y a pas de reste encore, les gars. Ouais, je suis d'accord. Et rentrez de pression, tout permis.
Communication there between the helm and the flight controller. Jason Saunders flying the boat there. Really nice breeze coming down the course here. Really fresh conditions. Really low ride height, wide cant on the foils for max power.
So, Alinghi Red Bull Racing in a strong position, and they're about to complete the halfway mark in race 16. They simply need this win in the race for survival. They do not want to be the boat that's going home at the end of the week and see all those America's Cup plans, the millions invested, go down the toilet. Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They complete the halfway mark in race 16. Just have to race it clean, as you heard Glenn Ashby say. All they have to do in strong weather conditions. The AC75s are ripping.
Happy to continue just to pass them.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shifting the axis to 3:35.
5 seconds. Really nice breeze here, 14.
Big day for the race committee today. A lot of course changes, keeping the course true and directly into the wind, both upwind and downwind.
Faut vraiment faire un très slow your rate sur le tribord bâbord.
Voilà, je dis. 6.
Je te refais un peu clos. Je vais rentrer lent là. Vuitton,
on va venir dans 10.
Orient Express Racing coming into the top gate. They will finally complete the halfway stage of this 6-leg race. Race 16 in the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series. Lost the rudder twice on the first upwind leg, and it has cost them dearly.
Ok, Engel. Garde de peine trop bas, continue.
Attention, le go-to d'un wing de Jim, il est en photo. Ok, 32 Paris. Continue. On est tendance droite, c'est bien. Pas beaucoup plus de pression à notre intérieur.
Ok.
On veut pousser du Paris.
Ok, tu veux, reste bien.
Orient Express losing distance all the time. They just don't seem really locked in today.
Advice. Médium. En 3, 2, 1. À bas. En bas. 1. Chic.
Un bord left.
Médium. 2, 1. Chic.
Big push for the cyclors on a day like today. Lots of trimming involved with the sails to keep the boats at max performance.
Plutôt du droit.
Do you think Orient Express are having systems issues, Glenn? I mean, it just doesn't seem right. It's like they're fighting the machine all the way.
Really, really difficult conditions to sail in here, and Alinghi Red Bull Racing, you know, really sailing their boat as well as they possibly can. And yeah, I think the French are not quite as locked in as the Swiss at the moment, and it's all about being locked in on these boats for max performance.
3, 2, 1.
Boat's going down.
Close. Right here.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing about to complete leg number 4. They appear to be in control of this race, but you never say never in the America's Cup, despite what's gone on with Orient Express Racing. Get a win here, this will be mammoth for the team. It could mean they survive.
Let's double check to connect the pressure.
Yes. Yeah, we can continue, okay. There's a nice pressure in front of us, do you agree? Yes.
20 to the boundary.
Okay, we'll tack there. Think fast. Being right into. Yeah.
15.
Think fast for the tack. Yes. Then by tack. 10. Okay, 5, 2, 1, all down. Close.
And 2, 1, and bottom. Otherwise, when you right here.
There is a lot of expertise, cup-winning expertise behind this team, and I'm sure in the last 48 hours they have rallied together to come out and give such a dominant performance. It looks like a different team.
They're certainly sailing really well. Alinghi Red Bull Racing, no question there.
Orient Express Racing coming to the bottom gate to complete the 4th leg, 2 more to go. You look look at your bottom left of your screen, you see how far behind they are. It's 1 minute and 12 seconds. And they are really working that boat.
Si tu restes sur cet angle, on sera au-dessus de sa ligne en tribord.
Tu peux baisser la trouille manuelle.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shifting the axis to 345.
En 3, 2, 1. En Alinghi.
Pardon.
Nice clean tack there on Orient Express Racing.
Ça revient dans 3.
Distance staying about the same.
Pression un peu plus.
Let's go on board to the French chase boat. Thierry Gouillard is the coach of Orient Express Racing. Thierry, looks like they're wrestling a wild bull at the moment. Everything okay on board?
As you can see, we had a small technical issue on the two first tags, so we had a massive loss at this stage. Now they deal with it, they're able to sell the boat, I would say, correctly and in the game, but unfortunately it was so massive loss that it's pretty hard right now.
Just got to keep pushing, right?
Yes, for sure. still a leg, so we'll see, but for sure it's not what we expected, but the way it is right now.
Okay, thanks for your time, Thierry.
On n'est pas, ouais, il y a eu un re-update sur les tacticals.
T'as plus fort dans 15.
I mean, hope is a wonderful thing in the America's Cup. So they have drawn back some gap on that upwind leg. It was like 1,400 meters on the downwind leg. So it picked up a little bit, but it's starting to just squeeze a little bit more towards Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
2, 1, down. And slow down.
And 2, 1. On this right, driving the traveler as usual.
Really nice clean tack there. Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Shot, we do an early jibe.
Focus on our boat, nice.
Lifting.
Okay, twisting a bit here. Right looks very strong. And with an early jibe. Yes, early jibe. Big righty.
And on over trim.
Slightly lighter the mark.
Next one is a very right.
Good angle.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing coming to the top mark for the final time in race 16. They are one leg away from registering their first win in the Louis Vuitton Cup. The importance of this win, when and if it happens, cannot be underestimated.
48 knot exit speed there at the top, so definitely not tied to the dock around the top there. Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Really nice jibe and sailing really well down the course.
We'll do one more time for the left map. Let's set our boat.
Nice pressure offshore. Slightly more lefty offshore, I would say.
That's a little righty. Et une grosse manœuvre à bien. Et it's good.
Je pense qu'il y a peut-être 20, il y a du gain beau et de gauche.
Ok, donc
je peux faire early jibe, ouais.
Moi aussi.
On va tout droit finalement. Continue médium.
Alors on aura la presse à la sortie.
Orient Express Racing heading to the top gate, almost there for the final time. All they can do is keep up the chase. They had a win on the board, but they were desperate to get another win on the board.
Nice manoeuvre there by Orient Express Racing, in the old school terms there, a jibe set at the top, no spinnaker poles out, and spinnaker's getting hoisted there, Shirley. It's a different world these days.
There has been so much pressure on this Swiss outfit. they needed to win this race. So far, so good.
Orient Express Racing, they've just come back on the foils. A moment ago, they were off the foils. It's just one of those days for Orient Express Racing, but it couldn't have happened at a worse time in the last week of the Louis Vuitton series.
J'ai pas trop de marge pour te mettre la contre maintenant.
The French team last to get their AC75. They got the design package from the Kiwis, but have had the least amount of time to get race ready. And I wonder if we're just beginning to see a few of those gremlins.
Maxime Bachelan in control of the Yacht at the moment, coming into the finish here.
It's taken them 5 races to get here, but they've finally done it in an important week. Alinghi Red Bull Racing get their first win in the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series, and the cowbells will be going off the team base.
Nice one. Nice one, guys. Very good. Focus.
What a huge confidence booster for this team.
The best is between the two cats.
Yeah, I think Max will turn more.
A really solid race there. Alinghi Red Bull Racing, they'll be super stoked with that. Great job by the whole team there. It is a huge team effort, and well done to the Swiss team.
Yeah, an impressive race, really calm and controlled. Great start. And a lot of pressure.
Well, surely that pressure's gone right back onto Orient Express Racing, because they came in here. Quentin was very firm. You know, we beat them in race 1, we'll beat them in race 16. It hasn't happened. They came off the foils and potentially cost themselves a win. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. They are now 1 and 4. Identical record to Alinghi Red Bull Racing as Orient Express Racing come across the finish line. Confirmation of this result in race 16, the opening day of round robin 2. It's Alinghi Red Bull Racing with win number 1. And take a look what this means with all the 6 teams down the bottom. Remember, last team at the end of the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Series, you're going home. And now it is so tight. The pressure just ramps up again for Alinghi Red Bull Racing and Orient Express Racing.
Well, a little reminder here of that start. The unconventional start by Orient Express, coming in late, going for a little dip. Beautiful start by the Swiss team. Pretty early on. Orient Express really struggling, coming off the foils, really just not locked into the boat. Very costly touchdown. From there, Alinghi Red Bull Racing kept a cool head, sailed a clinical race and got the win they needed so badly.
Let's go on board Alinghi Red Bull Racing. We'll start with Maxime Bachelan. One would suggest, Maxime, going across the line, that was a huge sigh of relief. You get win number 1, buddy.
Yeah, no, it was pretty nice. Like, it was a very good breeze as well, a bit shifty. So it was really fun to play the shift, and yeah, it's finally 1 point. So very happy with that, and yeah, good performance of the guys on board.
Congratulations, buddy. We're going to jump across to talk to Arno Sarafagis. Arno, you've been saying all along this regatta, we keep concentrating on wins, wins, win. You get one. For you, like Maxime, how good does this feel right now?
Yeah, it's really good. It's a new week, new round robin, and we started really well. The guys did a really fantastic job on the boat, on shore, just to put back us where we should be and to win races. And today it was a really tricky day, but a really enjoyable sail on board. And but I think it's gonna be really nice to watch the few next races. And we're back on track. And I mean, tomorrow we need to win another race, and the day after again. So it's really looking forward to it.
Arno, massive congratulations. What a textbook race. I saw you out training yesterday. How much have you had to reset the team and really focus on this match today?
Yeah, I think the reset was quite easy. I mean, we've been waiting this day for 2 years, and we just keep on following our routine and on the plan. And yesterday was a good little shakedown, and today a different condition, but we were fully into it and ready for the win. Congratulations, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Let's go on to Orient Express Racing. Quentin Dula-Pierre. Quentin, just when it matters, it just seemed to be a tough old day there. What went down? What went wrong?
Yeah, we struggled to sail the boat in the first step when we had some issue. So yeah, the Swiss took the advantage, and after that we were not able to close the gap. Technical issue was there until the very end. So yeah, unfortunate, but it's not finished, mate. We are just equal points, and just looking forward for the next matches.
Yeah, bang on. It all starts again. Thanks for your time, Quentin.
Thanks.
Yeah, really, this was a key moment, I think, for Orient Express Racing, just getting high on the foils there in the tack, losing the rudder, ventilating and actually spinning the boat, then head to wind. So a real shame there for the French team. I'm sure they will regroup and they will be back absolutely swinging from here on in. Just having a look at the official time there, 1 minute 10-second deficit. Both boats top speed very similar, and upwind speeds pretty solid by the Swiss there.
Success is no accident in the America's Cup. It takes skill, commitment, hard work, perseverance and sacrifice to make these high-speed monohulls fly. Alinghi Red Bull Racing has engaged two wise old America's Cup heads, Pietro Sabello and Rodney Ardern, to help power their team to the podium.
My responsibilities within the team are really coordinating the program of the sailing team, the coaches they have, the advisors they have, the program we try and run on the water and ashore, and just making sure it all runs smoothly. Well, my history of the America's Cup started back in 91, 92 when I was with the New Zealand Challenge. Been part of the sailing team for quite a few cycles, and this is my 8th America's Cup and the first time not sailing. Had the benefit of winning it twice with Alinghi, and looking forward to doing it again. Pietro's been great for the team. He's obviously brought his experience of racing with Luna Rossa in the last campaign. Fantastic understanding of what makes the boats go fast, so he's been a real strength and asset for the team.
For us, being a new team was for sure difficult at the beginning, and was super important to get straight into the game. You know, having the boat zero sailing here as soon as possible was important to have the crew understanding the boat. Time on the water for us on the 75 and also with the two AC40s has been crucial, and we have been pushing that as much as possible.
Got quite a young sailing team, and you know, they might have sailed a lot of foiling boats on the lake, and have a good understanding of the concepts, but to have that thorough analysis constantly, it's an eye-opener for them, and it's good to have the fresh questions. It's a big moment for them. They've got the talent, and I think we've been able to give them everything they need.
For sure, at the beginning, it's not natural to understand that you have to share the wheel with another guy. So we had to work a little bit understanding what was the skills around our sailing team and also how to use it at the best.
Yeah, well, I think the sailing team's not super experienced at match racing. We've had the benefit of having Dean Barker and Phil Robertson come and do some sailing with us on the AC40s. So that's really helped the guys construct a playbook and work out some things that may or may not work in these style of boats. I think the America's Cup's so difficult to win because it relies on such alignment of the stars. Everything needs to fall into place, and you know, sometimes you get it right and sometimes you get it wrong. I think when the racing comes around, once the clock's ticking down, we've all got to just think back to the preparation that's gone into it, and if we've done things right along the way, then we should all be pretty relaxed, and hopefully it just goes to plan.
Here comes race 17, Emirates Team New Zealand, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli.
The formidable defender has been fine-tuning their racing skills in this round-robin series. With every outing, the trust between Pete Burling and his new wingman, Nathan Outridge, is growing. Their approach a real masterclass in decision-making and execution. Also faultless on performances, Maloney and Took, and heads down and clipping in is rower Webster, Multisport Marvel, Dougal Allen, and stars from cycling, Crosby and Van Veldhoven.
The Italian team of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli are in form, and they mean business here in AC37. They'll be looking to book a place in the Louis Vuitton final and will be hoping for a solid race today against current defenders Emirates Team New Zealand. Leading the charge in the cockpit seats is Francesco Bruni, Jimmy Spithill, Umberto Molinari and Andrea Tessi. Powering the hydraulic pumps for the Silver Flying Machine is a solid lineup of Italian leg power.
So there are the four helmsmen. Remember, twin helming in the AC75s and the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup, and this one's always a psychological battle. They got them on day one of the Louis Vuitton Cup, did Emirates Team New Zealand. They had to come from behind and got them in that wonderful pass on the upwind leg, leg number 3. And you know Luna Rossa are fully charged and confident because they're 4-0 in the Challenger Selection Series. Though a win here would be a nice little get for them, and it will be an absolute barn burner, this one.
Just had comms that we're actually in a postponement at the moment. You can see the top marks there of the course, basically on the left-hand side of the boundary. So race managers Ian Murray and Mel Roberts having to readjust and realign the boundaries. So we are under postponement at the moment, although the teams will probably go through the pre-start for practice. They won't be racing just as yet.
You see
Peter Burling there with the green steering wheel. He's actually steering the yacht at the moment. Nathan Outridge on the right of the screen there, top right, in a sort of trimming tactical role at the moment. Both twin helm there, adopted by obviously all the teams in AC37, and Andy Maloney and Blair Tuke. They're flying the boat, so you can see looking from the chopper there, their screens and information. Flying the boat above the water. A lot of control surfaces to operate there with a lot of information sharing.
Well, just a reminder to our viewers, this boat was dropped about 6 meters just a few days ago. Looks all right now.
Fortunately not dropped into the water, dropped onto the cradle, but fantastic effort there to get the boat back on the water in a quick turnaround by the Emirates Team New Zealand shore crew.
We've had a big change in direction. The windward marks probably around about 50, and we started the day at 3:30, so a massive shift. Also an increase in pressure. It's a tricky day, isn't it? There's no formula to this. You really got to sail by the seat of your pants here.
Also proud of Pirelli. They are proving that they will be the team to beat in the Vuitton Cup with that perfect record. Jimmy Spithill and Francesco Brini. Remember back to AC36 in Auckland, they were the only team to do twin helmet. Everyone's going, well, this looks okay. Well, it's so okay that it's actually everybody's doing it in the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. But they are just so in sync. Every time you listen to them, you go, they're almost attached to the hip.
A lot of experience there, and that experience can't be bought. It has to be earned, and you've got to do the yards, and that's absolutely the key to success, is gaining that experience and knowledge, and
I will jump in a second inside the
feeling
boat.
comfortable with all those around you that you're sailing with, pushing hard and sailing on the edge. So
Jimmy Spittill's 8th consecutive America's Cup. That is a bucket load of experience.
He's looked out the goggles for a few years now. Oh, Jimmy Spithill.
All he wants is one. Just one win. That would probably make him satisfied. After 8, he just want one, wouldn't you? You just to say you've won the America's Cup, because what we are seeing in this regatta, this could be a boat to be feared by everybody.
Jimmy Spithill has lifted the cup a couple of times, but not with Luna Rossa. And it's Luna Rossa's 6th attempt, 6th challenge. I mean, this is not an easy thing to win.
Running the clear lenses today, so a little bit cloudy, and running the clear lenses in cloudy conditions actually helps you see the puffs and the shifts on the water a little bit easier than a tinted lens quite often. So really big shift in the breeze there, so tricky day.
This is the race committee. We've set a start time for match 17 of 14:56. The course axis is now 040, length still 1.7 nautical miles.
Okay, that's me there.
So that makes it only 10 minutes to race start for race 17 of the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series. What goes on inside that mind? Peter Burling, you know him pretty well. Is he a bit like you? Is he a bit professorial? He thinks. No, I'm being complimentary here to you, because there's I hear, particularly back in Bermuda, he was trying to find detail after detail to make the boat just keep going faster.
Yeah, Pete's certainly a real technical sailor, really into the detail, and you absolutely need that, and you need to have a really good balance right across the board through the team. And Pete's certainly heavily involved with, the designing and the performance side of the boat, and just hoping he's got his right lenses on today to see clearly. So
yeah, I'm not sure if they're the right goggles.
No, they're certainly clear from looking out, not so much looking in.
Yeah, well, at 26, Emirates Team New Zealand's Peter Burling became the youngest helmsman to win an America's Cup. Now he wants to steer his team to the history books once more, as he looks to become the 2nd skipper of the modern era to win the Cup not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row.
For me, the culmination of the America's Cup is that beautiful merger of taking risks, design, development, and then having to actually put it all together and execute it. I think it's what makes the intrigue of the America's Cup so special.
Take one.
Hi, I'm Peter Burling, and I'm the skipper of Emirates Team New Zealand. Sometimes people refer to me as Pistol Pete. No, actually, sometimes people refer to me as Pistol. I think I was incredibly lucky to be able to race on big stages relatively early in my career against some of the best sailors in the world. The whole way through my career, I just raced against older people. I went to my first Olympic Games at 17. The more situations you've seen, the more high-pressure moments you've been in, the better you're going to be. I think when I jumped in the America's Cup environment, I've been well prepped for what I had to face there.
And Peter Burling, he's pretty close now, Ken, to achieving a lifetime dream, and that has to start to enter his head.
One thing that stuck with me for a long time was 2017, after we capsized the boat in Bermuda.
Goodness me. Men overboard. Crisis time for New Zealand. That is a shocking sight, and we hope that everybody is safe and well.
Sean, the head of our shore team, coming up and just saying that we want you to push the boat super hard. Obviously, these things will happen. We'll fix it and just carry on doing what you're doing. Just have the full support of the team, that it's all part of the journey and we'll fix it, we'll get back out there and just carry on.
What a turnaround from 2 days ago when the boat was upside down.
You know, I think as a culture we're really trying to instill people not to be afraid to make mistakes, to push super hard, and everyone's here with the same goal and we need to take risks to win this thing. To give yourself a chance at winning the America's Cup, you've got to have a fast boat. So that means you've got to have a sailing team that's good at developing the boat, a design team that's good at developing the boat. I think that's been one of our big strengths traditionally over the other teams, is that the sailing team is very blended with the design team. Each time, the boats get faster, the closing speeds get greater, the level across the board just keeps raising, so you've got to race with it. As you come towards the end of the campaign, that rate of development that you think would slow down just keeps ramping. Being able to push that development, that progression, is such an important part of the America's Cup. I mean, if you don't have a fast enough boat come the end, you're not going to win. For me, I want to go into the first race of the America's Cup knowing that we've done everything we can. Go in confident that if we put our best foot forward, are going to win the America's Cup again.
Traction behind 090.
Peter Burling, one of the twin helmsmen on the Emirates Team New Zealand boat, along with Nathan Aldridge, probably one of the most private individuals that you could ever meet. To be honest with you, I know he doesn't like a press conference, but I know now, this time around, he's actually getting into it. He threw a little barb early in the opening press conference to the Louis Vuitton Cup, and it was coming back from Tom Slinkby, who said, "Oh, we know your boat's pretty good in certain areas, not in the others." He just said, looked across and just said, "Oh, really?" So he's up for the game, as is the boat. We have another postponement to this race. It'll be now 2:59 local time for the start of race 17. That's 2:59 local.
About 7 minutes to go here for the next scheduled start. So a little bit of rain out there at the moment, Shirley, as well. So
I think not long to wait. They've had to move the marks, the autonomous marks, 1,400 metres, which is quite a long way, and they only do 6 knots. Actually, that seems quite quick for a little mark with a tiny electric engine. So, yeah, not long to wait.
I think I'd be keen to get one of those and turn it into a little electric spa bath. I think you'd be able to cruise around the bay, take a chili bin and go for a tour around the harbour. Be quite good.
Let's go on to Chase Zero. Pete, from where you sit, what's the weather looking like? What's it doing from where you're looking?
It's marching to the right. We're lucky. We've got the 12 metres. Of course, 12 metres were used in the America's Cup. You go right back to Fremantle. And they're about 2 or 3 miles to the right, but they've picked up about a 40-degree shift to the right. And coupled with that, it's raining cats and dogs where they are. So I'm expecting this big right-hand shift to come through, and yet more rain.
Never got your thoughts on that last race. Just briefly, Pete, that Alinghi Red Bull Racing one, that changes the dynamic of the whole regatta now at the bottom end of the table.
Certainly does. And what was going through my mind watching that is every time you get a major condition change, the whole form book goes out the window. I thought in that condition, Alinghi looked great. Orient looked in trouble, really, even in their pre-start. So Alinghi in that, good on them. They got out, they got a good start, and they managed the course well, and their manoeuvres were looking really slick. So Alinghi stepped up to the plate and really just did everything they needed to. They didn't put a foot wrong. For Orient, they just looked plagued with handling errors.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate the time as we see Emirates Team New Zealand, the defender, getting ready to face the team they met in the match in AC36 in Auckland, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, as we start thinking about a start in race 17. They've changed the course and we're getting close to a race start of that magical dance, which isn't too far away. When you look at these boats design-wise, there is quite a similarity, isn't there? And the way they both managed to keep them so level up and down.
Yeah, the boats are really designed to be aerodynamic as much as they are hydrodynamic, and these days, you know, the rigs and the hulls just fully connected in an aerodynamic sense, and You see the foiling of these boats, they're designed to basically just foil, just clear of the water. So the closer you can keep the platform to the water, the better the aerodynamic seal you get from the rig down to the water, effectively giving you more power and better span efficiency from the sail plane.
Yeah, everywhere you look in the whole package, there has been attention to aero detail. I mean, even watching Orient Express earlier today, they've got the face masks on. I don't know how much difference that makes, but I'm sure it all adds up.
Good for skin cancer avoidance for later in life. It's something that we probably should have done a better job when we were younger, Shirley.
Well, this is a whole new, different-looking course than we have seen. Just have a...
I think if he doesn't do the circle, he has to be early. No.
Yeah, definitely more pressure on this right.
40 to kill. We'll go there with attack, boys.
Ready to kill.
Stand by attack, boys. In 3.
This is the race committee. We have completed the wind sampling, and this race is live.
Course shift has been accepted, and race committee have said number 17 is a go.
Yeah, big change in the course, 100 degrees, massive shift to the right. Just listening to the onboards, they all seem to like the right as well, so we might see them really fighting to get that right-hand side of the track.
So it will be Emirates Team New Zealand that come on board the 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and then Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli from starboard after the 2-minute mark. They're steaming in under 45 knots. Emirates Team New Zealand, they get the green light, yes they do, and they're in.
I will once through. Now.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli coming in from the right, just a little bit behind time.
He's staying quite low, happy to go straight at him.
But they get the green and they are a go as well.
Really big pressure coming down from the right-hand side of the course, so it will be a battle, I think, from these two big teams to try and win that right-hand side of the course.
We've got 17, 18 degrees, 18 knots of wind now. I mean, that is full on for doing these maneuvers in the pre-start.
Wind over here.
They're on 1 down inside.
Green 50, getting on committee lay here.
Windy on the right, bit close.
Pretty 40.
Board down on me.
Yep.
2, 1, board down.
It's 20. They're on 2. Easy,
We'll probably go with attack, guys.
Yeah, big increase in pressure here.
Split up.
You got time? Plenty of time, no higher.
40 for the boat.
Luna Rossa tacking up, getting a bit of separation.
Way above boat lay here.
Gonna do.
Have just tacked 30 to the boat.
80 metre boat, guys.
Iron's low. We have to go on him at some stage. I think I would go early rather than late.
Our bottoms, they're all good.
Get behind him.
Luna Rossa just inside that boundary on the right-hand side. Big right-hand shift here.
Right, get it in a pretty push now.
No problem going behind.
Luna Rossa going for the attack, going behind the Kiwis,
17 for the boat.
pushing them to the start.
Oh yeah, 18 to kill. All the way down.
Heading towards the last 30 seconds for the start of race. Number 17, the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series.
Push.
Lay line on him.
Just above boat lay here still. I think he
Luna Rossa fighting for that right-hand side.
Strong hit, just don't let him roll you. Above maybe, yeah. 3, 2, yeah, roll. Still too early.
Trying to roll.
Rolling him, no problem.
High speeds here.
Don't be over.
Go for a right turn here, boys.
2-1 racing.
Yep.
Race 17 in the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series is on. The defender against Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Split tag.
Oh, big touchdown there, Emirates Team New Zealand. Off the foils, massive twist on the sails. Huge gains to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli off the start here. A massive deficit for Emirates Team New Zealand to make up.
Okay, here we go. Focus. Fine up here.
Yep, here we go.
One. Oh, thanks.
Well, the words of Peter Lester are coming back to haunt them a little bit. He said, when you get a huge wind shift, you never know what could happen. Look what happened. The defender down off the foils, but now back up and going. Second consecutive race start win to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Let's go boundary, you'll be all good here. Just get some numbers, I'll make it away.
Watching the replay here, you'll see both boats right up at cavitation speed there, and Emirates Team New Zealand foil down and losing the rudder there as the board hit the water. So big skid there from Emirates Team New Zealand and a loss of control. Huge skid there, and boys doing well there to keep that under control and not roll the boat over.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shifting the course axis to 080.
So we are thinking one and in at this stage. What feels good, Andre?
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli really locking the boat in here and absolutely ripping up wind there. They are max pace for what these boats will be doing upwind, flat water and big breeze. 42 knots of boat speed there, upwind. Francesco Bruni on the helm.
Yeah, no issue, yeah.
Let's go on the water to Peter Lester and chase zero. Pete, wow, what a start, huh?
Yeah, good start by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They certainly put the New Zealanders under a lot of pressure. Key moment was when they rolled over the top of the...
Whoa, hang on, Pete!
Oh,
hang on!
Big one here for Luna Rossa.
Okay, recover.
Oh, I just got that back. That was super close to doing a head-to-wind check there as well for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. So really tricky conditions here, Pete, out on the water.
Yeah, they're going to be long on starboard because the breeze continues to clock round to the right, which means starboard will be the long board. So Luna Rossa in a really strong position.
Yeah, let's check in next leg. Yeah, almost the ley line, okay?
I've been early jibe.
Early jibe, but no rush.
What better way are we looking into?
Better way and Stampella after.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli is steaming into the top gate for the first time after a moment. It was a heck of a big moment. They got themselves under control. You heard the cool voice of Jimmy Spittle saying, no panic, let's just keep on going. And they rip around the top mark for the first time. How far behind are Emirates Team New Zealand? Have they made any gains after coming off the fours at the start? Well, the gap's not as big as one might suspect, and it's sitting at only 16 seconds. Game on.
Big twist there on both sails, getting around the top mark there, and 48 knot exit speed there, Emirates Team New Zealand. So being fired down the course.
We've got 18 knots of boat speed, right on the edge.
Just a little replay of this tack, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They looked all good, and it just really close. That rudder was so close to letting go there. And really, really big moment there for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Lucky to keep the boat under control there.
Let's see where they set it. Maybe a little higher right eye thunder if you have it. About a minute this way. That looks better, Andre.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, 49 knots of boat speed downwind, so
on the left at the bottom.
definitely holding the throttle fully open at the moment.
I think our range is like 80 to 90, really.
Coming back to FS.
First downward leg, and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli have got their foot on the accelerator.
Not at their target position.
They're lengthening this lead on Emirates Team New Zealand. Remember, this is a no points race, or a bragging rights race.
Still a bit out. Keep an eye on it for you. Copy.
Sailing into great pressure there, Shirley, down that side of the course. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli really locked in, sailing well.
It might not count for points, but it is great practice. And it's the first time we've seen these yachts race in anchor and this kind of wind.
3, 2, 1, anytime.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, lengthening the course to 2 nautical miles.
We can take either one, but we can do a
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They've had a moment. Emirates Team New Zealand have had a moment, and both were on the first upwind leg. And we've still got 4 to go. Do not go anywhere. The AC-75s are putting on a show today in strong winds off the coast of Barcelona. The first true grey day in the city. They will take the right-hand mark, as you see at Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Just ease it around. And then head upwind on leg number 3.
Good on Jim for now.
Delta at the top mark was 16 seconds. That's what Emirates Team New Zealand were trailing by.
No rush to attack.
As you might expect, they've picked up a little bit of time on the downward leg. No, they haven't. 17 seconds.
Handboard. Keep going. That's a 97. Thank you.
A bit of the wind mapping here. Surely the ghost boat showing the bend in the breeze there. So expect to see a bit of a left-hand wind. Should be a slight advantage to Emirates Team New Zealand initially here as the breeze bends.
Onto the Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli chase boat with Philippe Presti. Great start, Philippe, but you had your heart in your mouth in a moment with that tack upwind.
That was a bit stressful, that's for sure. The wind is super gusty, and that's really a challenge to sail the boat today.
It must make you feel good, though, when they had that, well, the moment going upwind that they collected it pretty quick and they're just getting on with it.
Yeah, there was an imbalance on the boat between the trim of the jib and the main that creates this little hobble. But I think now we're back on track. Very challenging, the course between the clouds and the shore effect, and yeah, it's going to be another 2 legs. Pretty funny.
Well, the gap's closing. We'll let you watch this one.
Thank you.
I think this is average phase now. This is a long tack by far. Copy. It's lefty on us. Could be a bit of gas. Just keep pressing into it. Nice, mate. So they've just got over a ladder rung there, so they can do it in one after that tack now. So you might want to wait till we can do the same. Agree. Yeah, copy.
Hearing the voice of Nick Partridge.
It's only 20 seconds away there.
Port driver.
Ankle up there. Boys, just I think we step up once we're over. Happy. Still slightly right here, or you reckon this is? I think that's average, eh? Maybe increase it. 3, 2, 1.
Helming duties being transferred on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli from Jimmy Spithill to Francesco Bruni, and beautifully smooth tack there, and they'll be hoping to keep their nose in front in this great battle.
15 away. Andre, we'll take a little investment up before the tack, okay? Copy, copy. Always mind the
This is the race committee. We're moving the leeward gate, shifting the course axis to 090.
Go in 3, 2, 1. Oh, big slide, guys. Smooth turn.
Bit of a chit.
Up. Are you trying to build? Just check the next leg, kicker. Yep, I will. Just to give you a second. Okay, we have time both sides, okay? Okay, so we got left turn, we'll take the gate. Yep, exactly. I don't want to go too far, just because it's light on the left.
Prada Pirelli about to complete the 3rd leg, which is the halfway point in all of these 6-leg races. They've had their moment already, as have Emirates Team New Zealand. Now they simply get back to business. Look at that knot rate heading into the mark. Just on 44. Slows down a little bit coming down into the left mark, and around they go with 44 knots around the mark. That's just crazy. So it was 17 seconds at the bottom end in favour of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Oh, increase for the beer away.
And they have made a good gain upwind, the Italians, as Emirates Team New Zealand go around that left-hand mark, as you said on the screen. Strong weather, strong wind. Pretty average weather out there on the water, Glenn.
Yeah, you definitely need your goggles on today. About 120 kilometres an hour of airflow over the windward cockpit, probably about 140 kilometres an hour of airflow going down that leeward cockpit side in between the jib and the mainsail. So increased flow on the leeward side, and definitely need the goggles on.
You'd be pretty pleased you're not swapping sides like they used to.
I remember those days well, and it's not overly pleasant getting flushed out the back.
Sounds like bugs and teeth weather, that.
It sure is. Really difficult to sail the boats accurately in these conditions.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, lengthening the course to 2.1 nautical miles and shifting the axis to 095.
The longest course I think we've had, Shirley. Breeze up and boats absolutely boosting, so we're high 40s downwind and low 40s upwind, so we're covering some distance here and the course getting stretched out accordingly.
We have a slight gain to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, but not much in it. Really hard to make any differences between these two teams.
Push, boys. Going in 3, 2, push 1, and more down. Still soft out of this, boys. Give a bit of power. Very soft, actually. Only 12 knots. Up with Vuitton. Got a lot of helm here. A little jib car, maybe. And power up the jib cutter.
See the heart rates there of Bruno Rossetti and Emmanuel Liuzzi. Pretty much
with that. Only 20 seconds, guys.
with the power requirements today. Huge wattage,
Maybe go a little bit fast,
providing the hydraulic energy to move those sails around.
We can hear the discussion in the trimming loop a lot more than normal. So the cyclors, they got it hard today.
Yeah, we love the racing. At this level, this much wind, they're not so flash on.
3, 2, 1, here we go. A big power up out of this, boys. Nice power up, yeah.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shifting the course axis to 100.
Really shifty conditions now as this breeze is dropping, so both yachts having to power up the sails, looking for a little more camber and depth to sail the boats at max speed. You hear Jimmy Spittle there. Need more power here, guys. Keep it powered.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli coming into the bottom gate. They'll complete leg number 4. Has Emirates Team New Zealand picked up some gains on the downwind leg? We'll soon find out. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, 2 more legs to go. Can they get the win? Get off the water and smile across the water to Emirates Team New Zealand. Say, we got you there. We're 1-1 in the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series.
Coming up round, 5. Still going. This is at left phase then, yeah. Go.
Emirates Team New Zealand going around the mark. They've got 2 legs to go now.
Keep going, eh?
Yeah, big lull in the breeze from what it was on the last lap. So boat speeds dropping there back into the sort of mid-20s now compared to 40s on the last upwind. So a huge lull in the breeze there.
Too late now. Let's go to boundary. Slow there. Yeah, all good.
Both teams in a pretty small jib. I mean, a huge push now to power up everything they have.
Bit of switching gears here in both state, guys. North hill. Coming at it fast. Over. On foot. Mine's frozen. Better pressure always right still. aerodynamic now, so make sure we catch everything.
The risk here is that the breeze actually completely shuts down, or to the point where one or both boats may be off their foils. So this race is not over, and Mother Nature will dictate the playbook.
Beat me to it. I was going to say, is there another wrinkle in this race with 2 legs to go? Well, it'll also show who's maybe has got the better boat and softer wind too, right?
Certainly be interesting. These jibs that they've got on are set up for big breeze, and the breeze is dropping, but looks like it's still hopefully enough there to get around the track cleanly.
Both boats feeling the pain right now.
Doing a big knob. All the other way at the moment. You go, you try it. Yeah, following us.
No rush, but there's a really good pressure coming in 10. Probably staying here.
Turn back quickly. See what happens. Easy. 80 southwest now. It's light.
Getting on this upward leg, it's leg number 5. It's going to chase 0. Pete, what do you make of this so far? Has that wind come significantly down?
2, 1, and board. Easy, Louis.
Alrighty, a few technical issues. It's a big old day out there on the water. But we are seeing some spectacular AC-75 racing. And it hasn't all been perfect. But boys, it's been spectacular.
Breeze now to 10 knots, so it looks like Luna Rossa got a bit of a puff there. That is a big change, isn't it? They started in 80, now down to 10.
Good pressure.
Stand by, guys. So in 3, 2, 1. Drive it down.
First day we've been able to see into the eyes of Jimmy Spidell and Francesco Bruni. They look fully focused.
We are on the right side. They are to leeward of us, so...
Full concentration on the course. Numbers, see the eyeballs scanning. It's a continuous scan. Numbers, course, breeze, numbers, course, breeze.
Just try to...
Round and round you go.
How many screens would they have?
Oh, there'd be 4 or 5 screens there with hundreds of
Let's not overdo
numbers
it, okay, though,
decipher.
Jimmy? Because just if we get caught as low, it's a shit fight.
Really good path here in 10.
They are on our left side, so keep that in mind.
Breeze now down to 8 knots.
A little more heel.
I'm just worried that it's going to get light at some stage and then we have to rebuild. So 31, I would say minimum boat speed, please.
The pressure is looking really good up here. Really solid. Definitely not getting lighter.
Copy that.
Putting a flat on B, are you still happy with this?
I think it's a good -1.
Good mount, guys. Going well. At this stage, unfortunately, it's a big bias for the left mark. What do you think if we do 2 tacks? And I don't know, your call.
I think 2.
2 tacks? Yeah. So in that case, we need to keep it fast.
So, transition flat here.
Nice. And by. Let's just go on the line, have a look, because all the software changed.
Go on lay. But keep the speed.
2,
1, and here we go.
Let's go.
Constant communication between Francesco Bruni and Jimmy Spittle is just delightful to listen to you. They take you through exactly what they're thinking, heading up towards that top mark gate for the last time. You can see in the distance, top left of your screen, Emirates Team New Zealand well behind now, but that wind pressure has certainly dropped dramatically, affecting both boats. One more leg to go for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Keep it started slowly going there. Nice. Really good control then.
Yeah, I've lost all race software.
Okay. It's coming back, I think. I lost it as well, so...
I'll ask the race committee.
I think we can just go on boundary.
But yeah, ask the race committee.
Yeah, race committee, Italy. Yeah, we lost our race software.
We can see the boundaries, we can't see anything else, can't see the marks.
It's back now.
Probably back now.
Race committee copies.
Parallel boundary, yeah, I get it, 120.
I think it's all the way for me.
Quite a bit of rain coming down there
out of it.
by the looks of things now as well.
Yeah, thanks. Good job.
Hi, we all here?
Emirates Team New Zealand coming into the top gate for the final time in this 17th race of the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series. It's been one of those days, not just for this team, it's
Probably 20.
the Italians have had a moment, and the race before the French had a big moment as well. So it's all going on a rough old day out here in Barcelona.
Luna Rossa did so well on that upwind leg. I mean, they picked their way through the breeze, but also changed modes into the softening breeze. I mean, how impressed were you?
They definitely linked a few shifts there, the Italians, and really good eyes out of the boat. It's definitely one of those days where you really need to be looking far up the course, and a lot of mode changes, a lot of gear changes, and you really need to sail cleverly. So they've done a really good job there.
We heard the panic from the Italian boat when they lost the electronic map that they have. How hard is it to sail the boat on the track without that?
Yeah, you're flying blind largely without that. That software's super critical to getting the boat around the course cleanly. All your information is there, so you're going back to flying without instruments when that happens.
Big gust here.
Holy shit. Let's go up by a fucking yacht or something, say Vuitton.
Apologies for the colourful language there. Emirates Team New Zealand, not sure what happened there. It sounded like possibly a little clap of thunder in the distance, possibly. Spooked the herd.
They're sailing very high, like if they ever left it. Have a look on it.
Yeah, that's a
really dynamic day here in Barcelona.
We're in two different breezes.
You got good pressure.
We know early on in the piece there was some talk of thunder and lightning. We've heard some thunder right now. Lightning's a no-go with these boats. And the race committee will be very wow. Now you can see why someone went off. Oh my goodness. Near miss. That is a serious moment in the 17th race. Lightning on the race course.
They're stopped.
Emirates Team New Zealand pulling out.
Stand by.
Down to 2 here, it's about to get
quiet.
Yeah, I think Mother Nature
This
really...
is the umpires, New Zealand, outside the boundary more than 100 metres. You are disqualified. Race awarded to Italy.
You're going to turn right here, just don't go away from that lightning.
Yeah, Mother Nature obviously not happy
Next move will be
at the moment, and edging her fury.
Outside of the 2 and park there, yeah?
Luna Rossa bailed out as well.
If you're on a carbon boat with a massive carbon mast that's filled with electronics, it is potentially a low risk, but a risk to you and also obviously the equipment. So they're keen to get out of the way.
Wow. So they may not have gone across the finish line, but they'll take that one.
This is the race committee. We are stopping racing for the day. Please return to shore.
Wow, that's how dramatic that moment was. Racing done for the day officially. Safety comes first. And with these boats and their makeup, lightning, as you saw graphically, is not good.
No, absolute correct call there by Ian Murray and Mel Roberts. It's definitely not a place you want to be out there at the moment, surely. So 100% the right call, and hopefully everyone gets back to the dock in good shape and gets the boats back in the garage.
What a dramatic day it has been. France, when they needed another win to get them a bit closer to the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals, come off their foils. Emirates Team New Zealand come off their foils. And then lightning. And that, look at the weather. It is dramatic. Good wind, but which has softened dramatically. Then Mother Nature says, you know what? I think you guys need a break today. And sends us a little reminder of how powerful she can be with that lightning bolt. Hence why both teams pulled out. Francesco Bruni joins us right now. Well, we'll call that a W, because I know your team on the chase boat was celebrating that one, but I've never seen your eyes so wide on that upwind leg when you had that moment. Man, they were saucers, Francesco.
You could see my eyes because I had transparent lenses today. Yeah, different day today. But I'm very proud with the team, very proud with all the boys on board. We sailed a very good race, and yeah, finally we beat the Kiwis, and yeah, we are super happy.
Fantastic pre-start, Keko. You must be pretty pleased with the execution of that. The cycling guys doing a great job to get those big sails trimmed on.
Yeah. I mean, you never want to ease the sails, but we had to do that. And yeah, it was really a power race there, and the guys did a better job. So yeah, super proud.
Complimenti, mate.
Francesco, there was a lot going on, wasn't there? And you really adapted well. Just describe the day for us.
Yeah, I mean, when you win in such a complicated day, it counts more. You feel to be even more proud for winning. Yeah, it was not an easy day, and yeah, we sailed well. It was very hard pre-start. Those guys are really stepping up the game, but yeah, we did better this time.
Grazie, Francesco. We'll talk again.
Thank you.
Let's go on to Emirates Team New Zealand. Peter Burling is standing by. Pete, wow, a big old day. What went down at the start from where you were sitting?
Yeah, I thought we were in a strong position. Didn't manage to set the boat as quick as I thought we could, and yeah, they just managed to get over the wrong position, and then kind of made a bit of a mistake, blow up a board from there. So it's a bit of a tough start, but yeah, I made a bit of a way that the team kind of blew up a board from there. So yeah, it's a one-sided tough start, but.
What was your reaction when you saw the lightning bolt? We heard it.
Oh, I haven't had a good run with lightning recently, so I'm more than keen to get near one of these big yachts that's actually ducted down to the water properly. You know, there's obviously a lot of electronics on these boats, so when you see one of those hit the course, it's never fun, put it that way.
All right, mate. It's been a wild old day. We'll talk again.
Cheers, mate.
We were talking about that. We were talking about that lightning. Take a look at this.
Wow. Yeah, that is not an ideal situation there. So really, really fortunate everyone's okay there. And yeah, I think I know what Jimmy Spittle said there, and I would have said the same thing, I think. But definitely the right job to get the boats back into the barn and hand it over to the shore crew. Fantastic start here, Shirley.
Yes, so close, wasn't it? Perfectly executed by Luna Rossa, forcing Emirates Team New Zealand to tag. That's where it all went wrong. Quick tack, lost the board. And from there, Luna Rossa sailed well, didn't they? They really adapted to the conditions.
Oh, jib. They did, and the jib just hanging up there a little in that tack, and that rudder would have been a millisecond away from letting go and having a head-to-win moment. But from there, Luna Rossa sailed a super clean race, really locked in, sailing the puffs and lulls really nicely, and really not allowing Emirates Team New Zealand back in the race again.
Holy shit.
And that last downwind there, obviously Mother Nature saying, you guys have had enough, and I've had enough, and everyone go back to the barn.
I think go close to them, bro.
Key moment of the day.
And this big skid there, a grande scomata in Italian for Emirates Team New Zealand, and you just watch the back of the boat drifting out here, basically full ventilation on all three appendages there in the water, and washing off a huge amount of speed, and then a really down speed tack and a full rebuild. So
After a 7-year hiatus, guess who's back? The Cyclors have returned to the America's Cup, where they were last seen in 2017 at the 25th America's Cup in Bermuda. A rewrite of the AEC 75 class rule has opened the door for their return. Grinders are no longer restricted to just using their arms, so arm power has been replaced by leg power.
When you look at how to power this version of the America's Cup boat, everything below the boat in the water is powered by batteries. Everything above the water, which is fundamentally the sails, is powered by the cyclors. And what the cyclors will do is they're going to cycle on the boat and we're going to move a hydraulic pump with our cranks. Now, the better we move that pump, the more dynamic we can be with our sail trim, the faster the boat's going to be. So the biggest difference between now and Auckland is in Auckland we were cycling with our arms, we were grinding. We're now cycling with our legs. That's about 20% more powerful. We're very lucky that we've got 4 non-traditional sailors in our cyclor squad, and we saw that as a necessity because they, quite frankly, the 4 guys we've hired are probably some of the fittest guys in the country.
British rowing have sat at the pinnacle of world rowing for the last 30 years, and that system keeps producing gold medals Olympiad after Olympiad. British rowing has given all of us here that aerobic base, which they're amazing at producing because they have the fittest athletes in the world. The scores the men put out and the women there put out are like a notch above the rest of the world. Freddie Carr brings knowledge, experience, but he also brings a lot of power. And the knowledge and experience he's got of the Cup has been priceless to us coming into the team.
They don't know how to sail, so they've been on a pretty intensive course on how to sail. Not only sail, but sail at over 50 knots. But fundamentally, they are there to lay down some mega power, and they do that, and they've done a really good job. Oh, do you know, I'm very proud of them. I'm very proud of them all.
There's no out-and-out cyclists here, but being part of INEOS, we have been able to lean on the INEOS Grenadiers quite a lot. We've been on training camps with them. We have some access to physiologists, to their wider team. So for us, it's been pretty easy in that sense.
Yeah, the lads are used to rowing on lakes that are as flat as a mirror, and that's certainly not what you get out here in Barcelona. I think their biggest adaptation is just the exposure to the elements. Out on the sea all day is hard work.
I am highly motivated to bring the Cup home and I know that that's what the British sailing nation wants, and to have that back in the UK for the first time ever would be absolutely amazing.
It's going to be fun. It is going to be a challenge, but there's no doubt that these boats are going to be closer in speed than we've seen previously. Therefore, it's going to come down to the small things, the small details like cyclor fitness. So yeah, we're up for the challenge they're going to throw at us for sure.
So there is a wonderful sight of Barcelona on a day where the racing has been postponed, the opening day of round robin number 2, but there has been one race and it was an absolute ripper and a huge race for Alinghi Red Bull Racing against Orient Express Racing. Alinghi Red Bull Racing coming in, the countdown comes on, you'll see a little green light on the bar, they're about to cross their good in, and they are good to come in. Now it will be Orient Express Racing. They got the win first time round on day 1 of the Louis Vuitton Cup, and they do it again.
The aim of the game here to take an advantage over your opponent and get off the start line with an advantage. So both boats doing the dance to try and gain the upper hand.
Ok, là-bas pour start up, James. Very light guys.
Breeze has got light, slow patch for Orient Express.
Happy to say lower, it's massive right here, just a picture.
At the moment, big left.
25 to boundary.
Huge shifts out there. Both teams having to keep the boat sailing fast and on the foils.
In these conditions, really hard to follow a game plan because it's changing so much.
Big gear changes here on both boats. Cyclors having to work hard here.
Par le haut toujours. Tu peux abattre et le lancer pour le prochain. Allez, deux, juste un tout petit peu. Heading 15, hopping power drive. Allez, posé. 14,
Alinghi Red Bull Racing there. A little off the foils and a little slow there, so they want to try and re-accelerate the boat here. French on their foils, time on distance, probably a dip start by the French. Alinghi Red Bull Racing accelerating, so they should pop up on their foils here.
Inside the last 10 seconds to the start of round robin number 2. This is race 16. And it is a go. Alinghi Red Bull Racing, Orient Express Racing, a monster matchup to start the week.
A little advantage there to Alinghi Red Bull Racing, but the French doing all they can to hang off the hip here.
That's an FT.
A little unorthodox start by the French. They're not terribly well executed, but they've survived well. They're very much back in the game. Breeze currently has gone to the left, and we see Alinghi just pulling advantage. They've pulled forward on Orient Express.
Oh, they've lost the rudder, the French. They've lost the rudder. Big spill there. Need to get that back under control quickly. A big gain there to Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Need to get locked in here, the French.
Let's go on to chase zero. Peter Lester, what would you call that, an unorthodox start?
Yeah, I think some of that's brought about by it's really shifty, and the breeze, the pressure's up and down. Off the line, Alinghi Red Bull Racing, they did a pretty good job of jumping back up on the foils at the crucial time, and they've jumped out to a pretty handsome lead and protecting that left-hand side. The wind just seems to be oscillating, but favouring coming off the shore, so the left tack or coming up on port will be the making board to the top mark.
Thanks, Pete. Peter Lester, America's Cup tactician, double Olympic gold medalist Shirley Robertson, 3-time America's Cup winner Glenn Ashby and Stephen McIver in the house for another day of racing off the coast of Barcelona, and it's a ripping one.
We lost the boat, keep going. I think we're happy to go one and in right turn if we make it by max.
Yeah,
with the pressure, we should be able to make it.
Oh, the French there, off the foils. Look like there's an issue on board Orient Express Racing.
In max flap.
Accélère doucement. This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shifting the course axis to 350.
They're not sure what the issue is there on board the French, but they're trying to get the boat up and going again. Alinghi Red Bull Racing sailing beautifully up to the top of the course here. A huge lead with Orient Express Racing off the foils.
At the start on the opening day of round robin number 2, when Alinghi Red Bull Racing need a win, they've just been handed somewhat of a gift at this point. They will round at the top gate for the first time, well ahead of Orient Express Racing. That's what you call America's Cup pressure coming to play.
This is such a big race for this team. They wouldn't admit it, but really is it's a must-win to have this kind of lead. So good for them.
It's a really big deficit there for Orient Express Racing to try and rebuild. Just having a look here at the French of what happened to them in that manoeuvre. Oh, lost the rudder there. Head to wind check. Unfortunately, just getting too high there on the foils. And losing the rudder there. That's too much.
Twice on the first leg. Not too much being said on the chase boat of Orient Express Racing. I can imagine internally there's a lot of grinding of the gears inside the heads as Orient Express Racing, whose deficit is growing against Alinghi Red Bull Racing, head to that top gate for the first time. Twice losing the rudder on the upwind leg. How costly is that going to be? They will take the right-hand mark, as you said, and head down on leg number 2, race 16, the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series.
These puffy, shifty conditions, surely really, really tricky to sail the boat well, and those tiny little skinny rudders, you get them high and super easy to spin out.
Even in the pre-start, it didn't look like they were quite in control of what was going on. Do you think that was mechanical or just the conditions?
Certainly difficult conditions.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shifting the course axis to 340 and lengthening the course to 1.7 nautical miles.
So Breeze getting up and still going left.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing sailing their AC-75 beautifully. Really locked in and fantastic comms on board there.
Looking at the French, they're having a bit more right than still one board round up, swing is good.
Happy not to rush the attack, it's quite light just behind us at the moment.
One board round up in 5.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing about to complete leg number 2 of 6 in this all-important first match of round robin. Looks a bit messy getting the bow down, but they're up and racing again, and their lead is a huge one on Orient Express Racing. But they've got to stay calm and stay efficient.
Let's extend at least to the 1 point, and we're very light in front.
Get rid of a few of the bugs off the goggles there with a bit of a touchdown at the bottom mark. I'll be looking to keep it clean from here and just get the boat around the track nice and cleanly.
Painting a bit, turning left. Entering the zone. Okay, 2. 1 very light. Lighter. Fall down. Close. Light tack.
See the veins of breeze coming down the course there. Really, really quite puffy and shifty, so definitely an eyes out of the boat day.
Very light here.
Max power.
Onto the Alinghi Red Bull Racing chase boat with coach Petro Sibillo. When it matters most, you've got the right starter, you've got a strong lead. Petro, there must be, at this point, a sense of relief at the moment.
They're going to take the right path.
Yeah, for sure, the guys did a very good job so far, the start and then also after. I mean, it's quite a tricky condition here, very shifty breeze, up and down. You know, they have to keep the eyes out of the boat and play in the shifts. Also was quite tough the beginning of the day, the sail choice, you know, with the storms approaching, deciding the main, which main to hoist, the jib to hoist. So far so good. For sure it's still a long race in these conditions.
Stay with us, Petro. We're just seeing Orient Express Racing go around that bottom mark for the first time to complete the second leg. How important for the confidence of this team would a win be today?
For sure, it's for us it's key to bring home this race. We'll see. Still long, as I said.
Thanks, Petro.
Thanks, guys.
This is the 1 point here for the left mark.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing were, I think, the only boat that went out training yesterday. They're practicing pre-starts. I mean, really needed that day, I think, to reset. Heads were down before then. Just listening to the comms now, really confident,
nice pressure everywhere again on the left.
Positive comms coming off the boat.
Let's go on board Chase Zero with Peter Lesser. Peter, you're listening in on comms to Alinghi Red Bull Racing. What are you hearing?
They're protecting the left, and as I look up the course, I can see more left coming. There's actually quite a squall, bit of a bank of rain developing over the land, and that's going to, I think Alinghi Red Bull Racing will be round the mark, but you could actually see an increase in wind coming down the course shortly. In fact, as we power up, we're in more breeze now, so this top mark rounding could be quite interesting.
I think we'll be happy to get offshore quite quickly.
Yeah, I agree. I will like get more right more.
Sur la grande ici. Ça va bien, un petit peu à droite là. Il faut pousser pour la pression, Jess. D'accord. Il n'y a pas de réaction encore, les gars. Ouais, je suis d'accord. Et rentrez de pression de Paris.
Communication there between the helm and the flight controller. Jason Saunders flying the boat there. Really nice breeze coming down the course here, really fresh conditions. Really low ride height, wide cant on the foils for max power.
So, Alinghi Red Bull Racing in a strong position, and they're about to complete the halfway mark in race 16. They simply need this win in the race for survival. They do not want to be the boat that's going home at the end of the week and see all those America's Cup plans, the millions invested, go down the toilet. Alinghi Red Bull Racing, they complete the halfway mark in race 16. Just have to race it clean, as you heard Glenn Ashby say. All they have to do in strong weather conditions. The AC-75s are ripping.
Happy to continue just to pass them.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shifting the axis to 3:35.
25 seconds. Really nice breeze here, 14.
Big day for the race committee today. A lot of course changes, keeping the course true and directly into the wind, both upwind and downwind. Big job for them.
Médium. Faut vraiment faire un très slow your rate sur le tribord baba.
Et voilà, je dis.
6.
Je te refaisais un peu la clou. Je vais rentrer lent là. Vuitton qui
revenir dans 10.
Orient Express Racing coming into the top gate. They will finally complete the halfway stage of this six-leg race. Race 16 in the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series. Lost the rudder twice on the first upwind leg, and it has cost them dearly.
Ok, Engel.
Garde de mettre trop bas. Continue. Attention, le go tout d'un wing de Jim, il est en photo. Ok, 30 de Paris. Continue. On est tendance droite, c'est bien. Pas beaucoup plus de pression à notre intérieur.
Ok.
On veut pousser de Paris.
Ok, Chile, on reste bien.
Orient Express losing distance all the time. They just don't seem really locked in today.
Advice.
Médium.
En 3, 2, 1. Là-bas. En bas.
1. Chic.
1, voire 9.
2, 1. Chic.
Big push for the cyclors on a day like today. Lots of trimming involved with the sails to keep the boats at max performance.
Attends, c'est plutôt du droit.
Do you think Orient Express are having systems issues, Glenn? I mean, it just doesn't seem right. It's like they're fighting the machine all the way.
Really, really difficult conditions to sail in here, and Alinghi Red Bull Racing, you know, really sailing their boat as well as they possibly can. And yeah, I think the French are not quite as locked in as the Swiss at the moment, and it's all about being locked in on these boats for max performance.
3, 2, 1.
Boat's going down.
Close. Right here.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing about to complete leg number 4. They appear to be in control of this race, but you never say never in the America's Cup, despite what's gone on with Orient Express Racing. Get a win here, this will be mammoth for the team.
Slightly lighter on the bottom of the course.
It could mean they survive.
Let's double check to connect the pressure.
Yes. There's a nice pressure in front of us, do you agree?
Yes. 20 to the boundary.
Copy, we'll tag there. Being fast. Being righty too. Yeah.
15.
Be fast for the tag. Yes. And by tag.
10.
Okay, 5, 2, 1, all down. Close.
And 2, 1, and bottom. Always really light here.
There is a lot of expertise, cup-winning expertise behind this team, and I'm sure in the last 48 hours they have rallied together to come out and give such a dominant performance. It looks like a different team.
They're certainly sailing really well. Alinghi Red Bull Racing, no question there.
Orient Express Racing coming to the bottom gate to complete the fourth leg, 2 more to go. You look at your bottom left of your screen, you see how far behind they are. It's 1 minute and 12 seconds. And they are really working that boat.
25 de Paris. Ici, on continue. Si tu restes sur cet angle, on sera au-dessus de sa ligne en tribord.
Tu peux baisser la trouille manuelle.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shifting the axis to 345.
En 3, 2. En magnifique.
Pardon.
Nice clean tack there on Orient Express Racing.
Ça revient dans 3.
Distance staying about the same.
Pression un peu plus.
Let's go on board to the French chase boat. Thierry Gouillard is the coach of Orient Express Racing. Thierry, looks like they're wrestling a wild bull at the moment. Everything okay on board?
As you can see, we had a small technical issue on the 2 first tags, so we had a massive loss at this stage. Now they deal with it, they're able to sail the boat, I would say, correctly and in the game, but unfortunately it was so massive loss that it's pretty hard right now.
Just got to keep pushing, right?
Yes, for sure. still a leg, so we'll see, but for sure it's not what we expected, but the way it is right now.
Okay, thanks for your time, Thierry.
On n'est pas... Ouais, ça... Il y a eu un re-update sur les tacticals.
T'as plus fort dans 15.
I mean, hope is a wonderful thing in the America's Cup. So they have drawn back some gap on that upwind leg. It was like 1,400 meters on the downwind leg. They've picked up a little bit, but it's starting to just squeeze a little bit more towards Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
2, 1, down. And slow down.
And 2, 1, bottom. Let's try to keep driving the traveler as usual.
Really nice clean tack there. Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Shot, we do an early jibe.
Yeah, focus on our boat, nice. Okay, twisting a bit here. Right looks very strong. You did an early jibe. Yes, early jibe. Being righty.
And don't over trim.
Slightly lighter the mark.
Next one is a barrel.
Yeah, good angle.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing coming to the top mark for the final time in race 16. They are 1 leg away from registering their first win in the Louis Vuitton Cup. The importance of this win, when and if it happens, cannot be underestimated.
48 knot exit speed there at the top, so definitely not tied to the dock around the top there. Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Really nice jibe and sailing really well down the course.
We'll do one more time for the left map. Let's set our boat.
Nice pressure offshore. Slightly more lefty offshore, I would say.
That's a little righty. Et une grosse manœuvre à faire.
Je pense qu'il y a peut-être 20. Il y a Lucas, bout et de gauche. Je peux faire early jibe, ouais.
On va tout droit finalement.
Orient Express Racing heading to the top gate, almost there for the final time. All they can do is keep up the chase. They have a win on the board, but they were desperate to get another win on the board.
Nice manoeuvre there by Orient Express Racing, in the old school terms there, a jibe set at the top. No Spinnaker poles out, and Spinnaker's getting hoisted there, Shirley. It's a different world these days.
There has been so much pressure on this Swiss outfit. They needed to win this race. So far, so good.
Orient Express Racing, they've just come back on the foils. A moment ago, they were off the foils. It's just one of those days for Orient Express Racing, but it couldn't have happened at a worse time in the last week of the Louis Vuitton series.
Pas trop de marge pour te mettre la contre.
The French team last to get their AC75. They got the design package from the Kiwis, but have had the least amount of time to get race ready. And I wonder if we're just beginning to see a few of those gremlins.
Maxime Bachelan in control of the yacht at the moment, coming into the finish here.
It's taken them 5 races to get here, but they've finally done it in an important week. Alinghi Red Bull Racing get their first win in the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series, and the cowbells will be going off the team base.
Nice one.
That was an enormous win for Alinghi Red Bull Racing. It has changed their whole campaign. They were under pressure and they responded on a day that saw the regatta, well, excuse me, this day, day 5 of the Louis Vuitton Cup Challenger Selection Series postponed because of inclement weather, lightning, safety paramount for our sailing teams, and that's why they are off the water today. But they're all heading towards one thing: who wants to win the Louis Vuitton Cup? The winner of that trophy will be the official challenger to face Emirates Team New Zealand in the match beginning October 12, 2024. So here's how the scoreboard all wraps up after day number 5. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli are the team right now. 6 races, 5 wins, followed by Emirates Team New Zealand, Ineos Britannia, American Magic, and then Alinghi Red Bull Racing, Orient Express Racing on the 1 point apiece. And just think about that, 1 point apiece and only a handful of races left. Will we see a tiebreaker at the bottom? Who absolutely knows? It's going to go all the way. It's a busy day tomorrow. The race management committee have said we'll start with 4 races, go 18 through 21. And what a way to start day number 6. The old foe going head to head. New York Yacht Club's American Magic against Ineos Britannia. It will be a ripping of a day here off the coast of Barcelona. We have experienced it all today. It has given us everything. It started off with magnificent weather conditions. Teams, yes, well, the cowbells were ringing at the start. They were ringing at the end as well. We saw teams go off their foils. We saw teams almost lift off into the air. There was a moment for Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, but that boat right there, that team, Alinghi Red Bull Racing, will be going to bed tonight smiling. We'll be smiling to do, because we'll be bringing you more live AC75 racing tomorrow, live from Barcelona.